these peaches as it goes. A little cardamom ice cream. Yeah.
I'm Doug with America's Best Restaurants, and we're traveling the country coast to coast to find restaurants that you should dine at on a weekly basis. We're in Akron, Ohio at Lock 15 Brewing. Now you hear brewery and you think, okay, beer, but the menu, not what you expect. It is high level, absolutely phenomenal food that you got to check out. We're going to talk to Joe and Colin, they're cousins, how they came up with this concept, the story behind it, show you the beer, show you the food, and show you so much more. Why don't you come with me and let's go check it out. All right, we're back, we're inside. We are where the magic happens. By the way, this is Joe. We're talking about the beer. So Joe, I love how this all started. I've heard many stories. Yours starts at a Christmas party and a sip of beer, and all of a sudden, here we are. Tell us about it.
Oh, yeah. So my cousin and I, who's my business partner, we had a family party several years ago, I think 2010 or something like that. I was brewing beer for a couple of years at that point, and I had a Christmas ale that I brewed. I decided to bring it to the family party to pass out to everyone. Colin comes into town from Philadelphia. He tries the beer and said, I'm going to move back to town and we're going to open up a brew pub. I said, all right, sounds great.
Did you think he was like, yeah, whatever?
Yeah, kind of, you know how that goes. You have a couple beers and you have some grand ideas. So, well, a couple years later, 2015, he moved back to town. We sat down and started putting a business plan together, and here we are.
Lo and behold.
Yeah.
So what got you into the brewing process in the first place?
I've always liked kind of making my own stuff. Anytime, I like, cooking my own food, making my own things like that. I've had lots of good beers, and then I was like, what the heck, let's just try to make beer. So the first time I tried to brew it, it was an utter failure. I forgot to put in some of the ingredients, and it just didn't work out, so I had to dump it. And then I think about 6 months later, I tried again. That one turned out better, and then I just kept it going after that. Probably brewed for about 12 years before we opened Lock 15 here, and then
no kidding.
Yeah, the rest is history.
Well, I imagine, let's walk back here. The first time you were brewing, the equipment didn't look like this at your house, I would imagine, right? So the evolution, what was it like when you first started brewing at the house?
Yeah, I had a 5-gallon, pot in the kitchen, and just did it over the stovetop there.
Nice.
And then a big plastic bucket, kind of like that, fermented it and bottled it and drank it. It turned out all right. And then, I learned every time I brewed a beer, I learned some new technique or some new process, or upgraded the equipment a little bit, got better equipment, until finally I had a miniature stainless steel looking brewery in my basement with, all good, pumps and switches and valves and stuff like that, making beer, temperature controlled fermentations, and then I took that little scale and
here we are.
This, yeah.
So let's talk about it. Is it you have 7 beers that are on tap all the time, and then you have seasonals? Talk about the beers. How many different types you have?
Yeah, we have 16 taps. So at any given time, we have 16 beers on. We have 7 seasonal beers, and then 7 year-round beers and about 9 seasonal beers. We have 4 fermenters in here, and our brew house is a 7-barrel system. So we can do double batches into here that give us 14 barrels, or we could do single batches into these to give us 7 barrels. And we just, kind of find the right ratio and the right, cadence to release the beers, so that as soon as one drops off, the next one comes on.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been fun, and it's been a process.
What's the creative process like when it comes to creating a new one?
I look at all the styles I've created, and I find something that I haven't created yet, or maybe a style that I have created, but I want to find a new twist on that style. And then I look out at the market of other breweries that have done similar styles. I try those beers and see what I like about them, what I don't like about them, and then do additional research on how to implement what I like, and then figure out how to make it happen here, and then we do it.
And then you honor Akron with the names of the beers, right?
Yeah, so all the beers are named after some local person, place, thing, event in Akron's history, or even modern day Akron. At this point, I think we have something like between 30 and 40 different beers that have their own unique names and their own stories. And all the stories, some of the stories go back a couple hundred years to the founding of Akron, and then more recently, some are named after very recent events or people.
Yeah, well, there's always the story behind it. And the cool part is we actually have the guy here today who brings the name and the story to life with the creative artwork. Because I would imagine people sit down and go, okay, and they probably rack their brain. What's the story? What's this about? So why don't we go and meet Chuck, who takes the beers and the names of the beer and brings them to life in art. It's pretty cool. Let's go see him. All right, so I was just talking to Joe, and we're talking about the beer and the different names of the beer and the creativity that goes behind it. This is Chuck. Chuck kind of brings it to life with all of the artwork. What's the inspiration, man? How do you come up with what they say and how you bring it to life?
Well, basically what they do is they come up with an idea for the beer they want to produce and a name to go with it. And then they tell me what the name is, and from that point on, it's kind of my baby, unless they've got some specific ideas for it. But, most of the theme around Lock 15 Brewery has been local history. And so all the beer label, the names are based on local history, events and people and things like that. And I've always been a local history buff, so it makes it just a perfect combination. And the names are always colorful enough that I really don't have any trouble just coming up with some ideas, turning it into a visual.
So are most of them, do you have writer's block where you just have to really grind, or is it just you see it, an idea pops and you go, I got it?
Most of the time, as soon as I hear the name or see it in print, I've got at least the first idea for it. There have been one or two that I struggled with some, but I think they all turned out pretty good.
Do you have any one that, just off the top of your head, I'm putting you on the spot, that is your absolute favorite that you go, man, I nailed that one?
The hooch, because of the just the theme that went with it. Yeah, I'm sure you'll get a shot of that too. But it's I think that was one of the ones that turned out the best, just visually.
See, but that's what's cool is because there's the name, and people sometimes try to figure out the name.
Yeah.
But not too many places we visit actually have someone like you to help bring it to life and really tell the story in one shot. That's cool.
It's been fun. These guys contacted me before the place was open. My daughter's one of the servers here, and so it feels like family. It really does. Perfect place. One of the things I love about it is coming here and seeing little kids in here with it. It's not like a place just to come and get drunk and get,
Yeah.
It's a family place, and it's really, really nice.
And you know what? I want to give Chuck props because he wasn't expecting this. This was a surprise, and you nailed it, my friend. So we've talked about the beer, we've talked about the artwork. Now it's time to go talk about the food. All right, here we go. It's time to talk about the food. By the way, Joe's back. We tried to get rid of Joe, and we're like, no, come on back. Come on, sit down. Hey, this is Colin, by the way. Here we go. Let's dive into the food. This is your baby here. I'm going to get into the background of how the menu comes about and everything else. But let's start right here with this plate. This is like the signature item. What are we looking at?
Well, this is the Nashville chicken. And, Nashville chicken has been a very popular item on menus over the last couple of years. And I got to be honest with you, I don't think a lot of people do it particularly well.
Okay.
It's the spice rub and the sauce that you use is very specific. And if you've actually been to Nashville and had Nashville chicken, you will know that it hurts you. It's you're gonna feel it all the way down.
Are you daring me to eat this, Colin?
I would never, but
He's trying to bully me. Go ahead, keep going. I'm gonna eat. Hey, I have beer here. I mean, come on. So go ahead. All right.
but I would dare you to have a bite.
Okay, go for it.
But that spice rub is cayenne pepper. It's a little bit of garlic, a little bit of onion powder. But what really makes it stick to that chicken is the fact that you use a little bit of lard, a little bit of an oil-based sauce. So it's not just a hot sauce.
That's good.
Yeah, it's actually something that's going to stick to it a little bit.
All right. So how did you come up with this concept? I mean, we're in Akron, as you said. It's not really Nashville.
True.
So where did you come up with this recipe?
Well, no matter where we travel, we eat, right? So, when we did a little research and development. So we were in Nashville, and no matter where you are, when you're presented with food that is just, it just changes you. It's a dish that you haven't had before. It's a Philly cheesesteak. It's a coney dog. It's a Nashville chicken dinner. But when you see that food and you eat it, it changes you. And that's what we want to do. That's what we want to say. Hey, this is Akron, Ohio. This is a place that you wouldn't necessarily consider the spot for food, but we're going to feed you some things that we've tasted and some things that we're going to do that I think are going to have a pretty good effect on you.
Love that. Cheers. Here we go. Let's go. We have beer in front of us.
We make beer.
Yeah, you do. In fact, we're going to sample. I mean, we have to. So Nashville hot chicken is now going to be like the thing up in Akron. You guys are setting the precedent for this, baby.
It has been. I mean, and again, you see it. You see it a lot of different places. You see, I think even the spicy chicken sandwich has been a big thing here, but they're not doing it right.
You're doing it right.
We're doing it right.
You're doing it right. Excellent. Let's move to item number 2. Let's go. The burger. What are we looking at?
So our Lock 15 burger it's a burger that we change quite a bit. So we always do a little bit of a twist on it. But the thing that remains, and I think this is important, and it's important for a lot of restaurants that are trying to do the right thing. This is a 5-meat blend, and it's all single origin. So this all comes from one animal.
Okay.
This is a blend that we bring in 75-25 as far as the fat content, but the meat that you're getting in this burger is all coming from one place, and it's responsibly sourced, and it's responsibly grown and harvested. And what we do is we take that, we make a little bit of a smash burger, which we like because we got the flat top back there, so we're able to get that little bit of crust on it, and we're hitting it with some beer cheese, some locally grown lettuce and onion. We use a couple of local farmers, but it's all done hydroponic, so we can get the same quality year round, which is really great. And it just make sure that every plate that goes out, has a little bit of love in it that I hope that everybody appreciates. But the thing that makes it is that beer cheese. That beer cheese sauce that is on that burger right now. This version of our Lock 15 burger is just dynamite.
I wonder where the beer comes from. I don't know. Good question. So probably, let's go ahead and drink again. Oh. Okay, you just mentioned the word love. You're talking about the passion. The big thing we find as we travel the country doing this is the independent restaurant owner operator. There's just a deeper love, passion with their staff, what they do for the community. This isn't just a business for you guys. I mean, there's a whole lot deeper meaning to it. Can you go into that?
We have grandmothers that work here. We have grandkids that work here. You know, when I think of coming back to Akron and starting a business, I think of you know, the people that have been my friends and my colleagues and you know, where I've been with them and with their families, and you know, this is always a barbecue. You know, this is always a family affair, and we are very, very lucky because, to your point, we have multiple generations of people that are here, and they're here because they want to be. You know, they're here because this helps them provide for their families, and you know, at the end of the day, that's all you can ask for. You know, if I can go home and look at my kids, look at my wife, and say, you know, this was a good day. This was a good day at work. A big part of that is knowing that you know, I helped, or you know, we helped accomplish a big goal for them. You know, a big goal for them to be able to work together, to play together, and you know, and for us, you know, it's always a family. You know, it's always a family environment. And I know that gets said a lot, but you know, we take it very seriously here. You know, the family environment, the ability for you know, people to come and work together, and we got a good crew, and this crew, you know, will see us through for a good long time.
In what you're saying, I love your saying about, was it like good isn't good enough?
Good enough isn't good enough.
Good enough isn't good enough.
That's our whole, you know, having traveled a little bit, and I'm sure you have as well.
Oh yeah.
You know, you've probably experienced some fine dining restaurants and some things that are, you know, just set the bar at a certain level. For us coming back here, you know we have a, you know, this is a pretty family-oriented community. The expectations are not necessarily as high as they are in New York City or Chicago. But from day one, we've always said good enough is not good enough.
That's solid.
And that's what we want to be. You know, we want to take, you know, we want to take the ingredients, we want to take the ability to infuse and include the people that make honey locally and that grow greens locally. We want them to be a part of this story, because that's, you know, that's a big part of what we do. So good enough is not good enough.
I love that phrase. You need to copyright that.
Yeah, and to elaborate on that, a lot of our beer ingredients are also locally grown as well, local hops, local malts. So we like to try to keep it as close to home as possible.
Cheers to that. Big time. Here we go. One
Here we
more
go.
time. All right. So now the food items, we have two things in front of me right here that, okay, chicken, burger, you might think as you're coming in grabbing a beer. These two items here, I would think, wow, that's not what I would expect. So what are we looking at here and here?
So you got our Burrata Panzanella salad. Burrata is a beautiful cheese, and it has a little stracciatella in the middle, kind of wrapped around a little bit of whole milk mozzarella. You got the scallops over here.
Oh yeah.
Essentially, we don't want to restrict what it is that we're doing. We always want to be able to push, and we always want to be able to bring in the types of ingredients that are gonna, bring something to the person that's eating. Bring something to that that experience, whether it's reminiscing, whether it's reminiscing about something that you've had before, or even just exploring something for the very first time. And you talked with Jess a little bit, and she is just she's just unbelievable. She's bringing really a lot of creativity, but also we're still staying true to what it is that we're trying to do, which is create something that is accessible and that is affordable for our guests.
Nice.
Bring something in that we can take care of your whole family, and that's what we want to do.
Perfect. Love it. So let's zip over one last item. We have desserts. I have to grab this one. I am a cobbler junkie, so please indulge us on this beautiful thing right here that I'm going to dive into while you were talking.
This is a homemade, of course, peach cobbler. And the peaches we will source as the season goes. It's a little bit harder in the beginning of the season. But we will source these peaches as it goes. A little cardamom ice cream. Yeah. It's
Oh, I'm in heaven, dude.
It's a good day.
Go ahead, keep talking. I'm in heaven.
I just want to look at you.
This is my weak spot. Oh, Austin even knew it. As soon as this came out, Austin's like, oh, this is not going to be good.
Yeah.
Holy cow, dude, this is amazing.
Yeah. If you're not wearing that on your beard on the way out, then we're going to have a problem. You know what I mean?
Talk about the ice cream again.
So we just did a little bit of a cardamom and black pepper ice cream on that. So
amazing.
Just again, made in house, and I can't tell you how much attention to detail these guys make. I mean, every single day, I'm blown away.
This goes above and beyond, again, what you would think as you come in. You got a brewery, you have a restaurant. This is at a whole nother level. And we've seen a lot of places. We've been to hundreds. The food, the quality, everything here. You guys seriously have stepped up the bar, not just in Akron, but across the board. So all I can say is if you're in the Akron area, if you live around here and you're not here on a weekly basis, what is wrong with you? You need to be here on a weekly basis. If you're traveling through the area, zipping up and down the highways, doing whatever, get off the exit. Come here, look them up. They're on social media. Check out their website. And plug it into Google Maps, for heaven's sakes. Just get here and try all of this. You are not going to be disappointed. Joe, Colin, the entire crew, this is great. Tell you what, why don't you hit the subscribe button below, hit the bell notification. We'll tell you when other episodes are dropping. You can find out more information about this place as well. So it's time for us to grab one more. Let's have one more toast. Gentlemen, thank you so much. We have learned a lot. One more. This is for Austin. He's behind camera. I'm going to have a sip for you. Then I'm diving back into the cobbler. We're out.